removed.
300.
Yeah.
That's a
Like you
big
said, if
difference.
people have 2 or 3 of these.
Easily.
Yeah.
And in America, and I know when we go on tour, you know, people take at least a handful of bacon for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we've got full cream milk. Again, a cup is 680 kilojoules. And here we've got, this is skinny milk, so it's 1% fat, is 440 kilojoules.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, people have milkshakes and all sorts of stuff, like huge difference too.
Skinny latte.
Skinny latte, it all adds up. Like, yeah. It might not seem very much when you're looking at tablespoons and stuff, but over a week.
Yeah.
And again, that's how people put on weight. It's that little bit every day. Just that little bit over every day.
Yes.
Mayonnaise, now this is the one that is amazing, I think, in terms of surprise. Tablespoon of mayonnaise is 520 kilojoules.
Oh, a tablespoon.
Just
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Whereas this is 97% fat free and it's 100 kilojoules.
Wow. That's a massive drop.
We're living on mayonnaise.
Well, when we make the potato salad now, you know,
Yeah.
and you just put in a bit more mint sauce,
That's
and
right.
that will that's where you get your flavour. But
Yep, absolutely.
your palate adjusts, doesn't it, once you
does
go to
very
the
quickly.
light stuff? Especially if your hips are adjusting, your palate has to
I
adjust.
know.
I'm always fascinated with mints because at the supermarket, sometimes you can't get the premium, and you get that one, but I never know if it's much of a difference.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then you can get extra premium and you
Yeah, I
think, well,
know.
what's the
Yeah.
difference there?
well, this one is your hamburger mince. So and that's 100 grams. That's a serving size.
Yep.
So if you're making spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that. So that's 1,040 kilojoules.
What do you mean?
That's
amazing.
Where's the rest of it?
What
If
do you
that's a
mean?
serving size.
That's your serving
Is that all you're
size.
supposed to eat?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
That's
else
it.
can you eat?
The next one
On
next to it.
What do you mean?
Well, we won't live on that much. It's not
You
much.
can throw veggies in. That's what you're supposed
That's not what you're supposed to do with spaghetti. You're supposed to have a lot.
to. But this over here, so that's hamburger mince. So that's pretty fatty.
Yeah.
So over here we've got skinny mince.
Yep.
Skinny. So it's
The premium. Is that
it's premium mince.
Yeah.
Premium mince. That one I don't have, but I do know it's 600 kilojoules.
From that, so that's an 800. Oh wow.
That's 400.
400.
Yeah, about a 400. Yeah.
Wow, that's a
Just
big
by the difference in the meat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, this one. Now, most of us have got into the habit of when we cook is just get the tablespoons of oil and stuff like that out. A tablespoon of oil is 735 kilojoules.
Yeah.
I just need to write that down.
And now I've made cakes and stuff like that as well, and they ask for half a cup of oil. Banana cake I've made recently, which was gluten free,
Yeah.
How many
It's a half.
kilojoules in that tablespoon? Sorry?
735.
Thank you.
So I made a gluten-free banana cake recently, and I had a half cup of oil in it,
Don't know
which is
about that.
4,600 kilojoules.
4,600.
So you told me
kilojoules
that
of-
after I ate all of the cake in one sitting.
Yes.
It's damn
She
good.
didn't really. No, she's pulling the chain.
Damn good.
It was good.
It's a bit tricky when you're making cakes and stuff like that with the oil, but when you're frying stuff, it is handy to actually get the can of spray and just spray the bottom of it, because a 2 to 3 second spray of oil is 200 kilojoules.
Oh, gee.
So
Okay.
now some people would put maybe 2 tablespoons of oil in when they're cooking, cooking vegetables or frying up
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah, well, if you're
That's why we
doing,
went
if
to
you're
the-
if you're roasting your spuds, you give it a decent,
That's why we went to the
Absolutely.
air fryer.
Yep.
The air fryer makes a world of difference. It's not sitting in oil.
So there are no really, there's not a lot of, oil's oil.
Alternatives,
Oil's
yeah.
oil. This is the best way we actually become, even a 5 to 6 second spray, which is a lot when you're spraying your vegetables and you're baking them.
But what
You're
about
still
when
looking
you're
at
baking your
400
cakes though? What's your alternative? Or the
Well, maybe margarine or something like that in a lighter
In
version.
muffins, there's often oil in a lot of
Yeah,
muffins.
yeah. Maybe looking at, there's no alternative really to butter. It's either margarine. That's when you have your lighter options. So
Margarine. Isn't that like plastic? Eating plastic?
yeah, but there are no.
There's so
healthy-
many. I have Nuttalex now.
Yeah.
You know, which is for me. 'Cause I
and,
don't have
and
dairy.
coconut oil and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah.
So there's-
But they
there's
are
alternatives.
all
They're
very
all
much.
oils.
They're
They're all
still
oils,
oil-based,
oil.
aren't they?
They're all
Yeah.
yeah. So, but it's just good
Don't eat
conscious when you
cake.
start to maybe just don't put as much in. Maybe put a third in or something.
Maybe have an
like
apple.
that. Not the cake. Okay, do you have any questions on that?
That is like
Any that
fascinating.
surprised you the most?
The coconut milk and the coconut for me.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coconut milk and the mayonnaise.
Yes.
Mayonnaise.
On the back of all the products that have got light,
Yes.
which bit do you look for? Because I like the idea of kilojoule, because I'll give you an example. We decided to go healthy and have nuts at the
Mhm.
night time instead of an ice cream or a biscuit with a cup of tea. But we found ourselves eating half the bag of nuts, so we thought we were eating good. But the
Yes.
reality is, you're doing the healthy choice.
Yep.
But volume-wise, we're
Volume-wise.
eating too much.
Yeah.
Where's my bag?
But where's the best place for us to look on a package
I'll show
to
you.
get an idea of what we can eat?
Your
Because
food
I think,
labels, your bag of nuts.
yeah,
Your
okay,
food labels on here.
yeah,
The very first thing that will tell you is energy,
right,
which
yeah.
is your kilojoules.
Kilojoule is energy.
And it tells you the serving size, which is
Oh.
30 grams.
Right,
So that's what you want to look for, is the serving size.
there you go.
And so
I've never
first
ever
row
paid
there
too
will tell you.
much attention to that before.
It's taken me a
Yeah.
while, but now
Is
I
that
get
on all
Everything.
foods?
Yeah, everything.
So you look at the serving size and you look at the
At
the energy is the one you look at.
And in fact, a lot of cafes and restaurants now, it's by law that they actually have to put on how much kilojoules are too.
Yeah.
A lot of your takeaway places actually have to have.
Yeah.
Oh, it
kilojoules.
tells
I've
you on
noticed
here
that
the
on the
serving
cakes, they
size.
have little signs.
Yeah,
telling
they
you
all
how
do
many.
now. Yeah, and
Even Baker's Delight actually. have
yes,
it.
they do too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was at
Is that by law?
a
They
cafe
have-
in
Yeah, a lot of takeaway
in New
foods now.
Zealand at the
Yep.
airport, and I was saying to Rachel that the every wrap that they offered at this thing had its kilojoule count.
Yeah,
so
and
you
your
could,
takeaway food
so
places
you
have
could
to
actually
now.
tell.
When we went to
and that's great, because I looked at them and I'm thinking, well, if you were to look at it from a serving size or a healthy option, like the old Caesar salad, by looking at it you think I'm making the choice, but if you do know your kilojoules, that's
the
a
Hog's
much
Breath,
better way
when
to
we were in
inform
Adelaide,
yourself.
We went to the Hog's Breath
Oh
restaurant,
yeah,
and they have everything has got the kilojoules of
oh yeah,
each
I
of their
know.
meals in there.
Because
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
we make a big
fabulous.
mistake and you think you're doing the right thing, but unless you actually know what the kilojoule count
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because the society is becoming kind of more overweight, they're making a lot of takeaway places that accountable that they have to
Which is
let
fabulous.
people know the amount of
You're
food that
making
they're
informed, like you said, an informed choice. We've
yeah,
become
educated.
informed
When you
tonight.
start to realise, yes, your mayonnaise, just by making that simple change, cutting out a lot of kilojoules with mayonnaise, and at the end of the day, you
And
have your better health.
Knowledge
we
is power.
Absolutely.
Knowledge,
Absolutely.
yeah, knowledge is power.
Here's just a couple of more just on the kilojoules in terms of your takeaway meals that you might be interested in,
Thank you.
which is quite surprising with some of them. Yeah,
Oh,
your
look,
takeaways
for
on
us,
there.
it's about fish and chips. What's a Chico roll? Oh my God, 1550.
Hamburger with the lot.
What's the
2,830.
Pasta with pesto
Oh,
sauce,
Lord.
34.
Yeah, there's some pretty.
Hockey and stir fry with over 2,000. See, you think you're making a healthy choice, but when you look at a kilojoule count,
Goodness, a quarter
KFC tears a twister box. We're never going back.
You're killing me, love. What are you doing?
The thing is, though, once you start to have understanding
Awareness.
and awareness, you can still have your favourite foods, but maybe just either
smaller
smaller portions, and just realise that maybe to have a little bit less for breakfast or something. If you still want to have these meals, that you can just spread it out throughout the day,
But I've
because
got-
you don't want to deny
But
yourself.
like I've got friends that are eating healthfully, what we were talking about earlier, where they're eating avocado and they're eating nuts, trying to do the right thing, because you get told, have a look at your food chart, they're the healthy options.
Yes.
But no one tells you
About
Yeah.
portion size.
or what kilojoule count
Yes.
it is, and you're sitting there
Yes.
thinking you're doing the right
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, it
because
is,
you've
and
got
it is.
that.
Like I said, when you put on weight too, like it's so hard on your health and your heart and everything like that. So whether you're eating avocados, if you're going over that kilojoule intake, you're going to put on weight.
Of
So
course,
it's
yeah.
about balance,
Yeah.
and being a healthy weight is the best thing for your health.
Yeah.
So just getting back to your meals that you were talking about,
Yeah.
and here with your curry, is choosing the kind of the lighter versions and stuff. There is a couple of changes if you make in here. You can actually reduce the kilojoule intake quite significantly. And I can't believe I didn't bring it. Anyway, if you did things like by changing the chicken thigh fillets,
Yep.
which are really, really fatty, down to chicken breast fillets.
Yes, yeah.
Again, going to your portion sizes, so 100. But if you're making a serving of 4, try and do it like 100
Per
grams
person.
per person.
Do you know when I cook us a curry, I put 600 grams of chicken for
Yes.
2 people.
Yes, that's 300.
Breast.
600 grams of chicken breast.
Breast.
That's 3 servings of, yeah.
Because that's what the recipe asks for. And we think we're having a lovely healthy meal.
Again, it's got 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil here. You're already up to 1,500 with vegetable oil just before
Just
you
with
even.
one meal.
So use the spray on here, and the coconut milk,
And go the light.
and go the light, and that actually reduced it down to about 1800, 1900 kilojoules. Chuck the serving of rice in there, you're probably up to about 2, you know, so you're really reducing it.
And it's a nice meal.
Yeah, and throw more vegetables in there and that sort of stuff.
And what would be an intake of kilojoules a day for a woman? Like,
if you're wanting to lose weight, around about 6,000 kilojoules.
Yeah.
So if you're on a weight
Does
management
age come
project,
into it?
yeah, like I said, if you want to get more specific and actually for individual, because it all depends on size, weight, gender, age, that sort of stuff, you can, yeah.
Because Tess compared to,
Well, that's for
Yes.
a male wanting to lose weight, it's 8,800.
is that a standard male or, because Tess is a lot bigger than...
He is.
Yes.
So you would need to, you know, get a much more specific figure. So that's just average person. But for someone who's not wanting to lose weight for a male, they're probably looking at 10, 11,000 kilojoules. So
Just to get through the day.
just yeah,
Maintain a healthy...
to stay your weight, whatever your weight anyone is, to
healthy
stay
lifestyle.
that. So, and again with the Caesar salad, different things you can make. There are actually dressings you can get. There's Caesar, like, you know,
Yeah.
praise. They've got a
Caesar salad.
Caesar salad dressing,
Yep.
and again it's fat free. It's like 100 kilojoules.
Yeah.
Because
and you can get them
mainly
in
where,
light as well. a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
the
and that's
dressings.
That's what- I
mainly
think
where
that's what you meant.
that kilojoule intake
Oh, yeah.
comes. The other thing is bacon rashers. You can actually get prosciutto and cut off all of
Yeah.
that, and that's again much lighter in terms of kilojoules there. So yeah, it's mainly the dressing with that one, and that one I remember reducing it down to about 1,400 kilojoules.
Holy moly, it's huge.
So with your chicken Caesar salad, it's pretty much the dressing. It's your mayonnaise, and those two ingredients are the two main ingredients.
I'm going to enjoy ordering my fish and chips when my friends have got their Caesars and talking to them about this. So, how's that working out for you?
I'm going to give you, this is the high, low, this is basically what we've just gone through here.
Thank you.
The high and low kilojoule intake.
Oh,
I'll let you have a look at that for a second, just so you can kind of...
But having said that, being aware of my kilojoules, because
Yes,
I'm, consciously on a weight loss program and just sticking to that.
Yep.
6,000
And
Yes.
that's working, isn't it?
kilojoule. That is working so well. I've lost about 8 kilos over.
That's huge, isn't
Yeah.
it?
That's
yeah,
good.
and she's doing it at a really, a good pace. That's 2 months.
Yep.
Yeah,
And my pants are getting loose.
yeah.
Hey, it's
And are you
good.
finding it doable? Like, as in terms of just
For
making
me,
it...
the challenge was at work because when you're on a desk shift and you come off that desk shift, regardless of what you've eaten before, you're putting out so much that you
Yeah.
are really hungry.
Yes,
So the key for me is about what we talked about before, about being prepared. So I
Yes.
now take my snacks rather than thinking I'm so hungry, I'll go to the cafe.
yes. And that's when you leave yourself vulnerable to,
Yeah.
to these kilojoules in, your salads and sandwiches that you might not be aware of.
So for me now, I make those date balls. They've got dates, almonds, and a bit
Yep.
of coconut. But I get the Thermomix. You just mix it up so it gives it a really, without having to add anything else to it to make
Fantastic.
it stick together.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd
You
love
can,
those.
you
Oh,
can
would
do
love
that,
that.
use the oil
Yeah,
from the almonds.
And what did we work out those were?
They
Were
were
200 or something?
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So,
Do you use those as a snack?
They're my snack.
Fantastic.
snack and
See,
cup
Tessa
tea.
loves snacks.
Yeah.
As does loves dates.
Does.
Tessa
Well,
loves
no,
dates.
dates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
and
thermo-
ice.
I can give you the recipe for
Yeah,
that
'cause I
because
can
that
put
was
in
in
the
a
thermi.
gut health book.
Good.
And it's just so easy to make. I make them on a Sunday night.
Yeah,
I've got
yeah.
my-
And she can enjoy them and they're healthy and...
and I just know that
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
and it's satisfying as well because it's got the almond
Yes.
in it as well. So
Yeah.
it actually takes
Absolutely.
away
I want to give you this. When we're talking about kilojoules
Thank
too,
you.
if you want to bulk up your meal, vegetables and salad
that.
are so low in kilojoules that they're such a great added thing if you want to build up your bulk. They're just, if you're feeling like your meals, like this, your pasta, sauce isn't as big as what
Well,
you
you
used
could,
to
put,
have.
you could put nice big florets of broccoli in it.
Broccoli,
and cauliflower
zucchini,
and all
mushrooms,
sorts of things.
capsicum, you name it, and it adds bulk and with barely any kilojoules in it.
Yeah, there's heap of alternatives. isn't
Yeah,
there?
yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
so the other thing, when you're bulking it up with vegetables, I know again for my lunch I have the tin of tuna which I can measure my kilojoule, but I just have so much salad and it takes so long to get through.
True, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
So you're eating for longer. So I just have